The last public participation is Edward Heard from the Plant-Based Treaty.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin, I'd just like to introduce myself. My name is Edward Heard. I'm a third-generation farmer's son. I studied agriculture. I trained as a chef. My first job at 15, I was a butcher's assistant. Where I'm coming from is a place of vast experience and study. If you could have a look at this, you'll find this on your table in front of you. Also, you'll find as the second page will be a copy. No. Or at least what I'm going to read to you tonight. I'm incredibly grateful for everything that you do. Thank you very, very much. But this, sadly, is an issue which is affecting the entire planet and therefore is quite significant. And we can no longer do nothing. So forgive the sternness, but it is necessary. Ladies and gentlemen of the Council, fellow attendees, I'm here to speak on behalf of the Plant-Based Treaty, my child's future, and the planet. By 1824, we knew the atmosphere controlled our planet's temperature. By 1856, thanks to Eunice Newton Foote, we knew that the composition of our atmosphere, the gases that comprise it, controlled how much heat was trapped on our planet. It took a man redoing Eunice's experiments in 1861 for the fact that CO2 alone can trap 1,000 times more heat than normal dry air to be accepted by the scientific community. In 1896, the Swedish physicist Svante Arrhenius, in his bid to explain the cause of ice ages, through research done with pen and paper alone, something that billions of pounds worth of research still confirms, that doubling the amount of CO2 in the Earth's atmosphere will cause an increase in global temperatures of 5 to 6 degrees Celsius. We cannot afford to go more than 5.5 degrees up without catastrophic consequences. He expected it would take 3,000 years, fully 30 centuries for CO2 levels in the atmosphere to rise by 50%. Instead, we shot up by 30% in only 1 century. Welcome to the 21st century, ladies and gentlemen. We know now that livestock farming generates nearly 40% of all methane production on our planet. We also now know that just a single molecule of methane gas can trap 80 times as much heat as CO2. 80 times. That's 80,000 times as much as dry air alone, floating around in our atmosphere, because some of us here today prefer a taste to a future for our children and our children's children, a planet for life, a sky for birds, oceans for sea life, which are acidifying, you should know, forests for making more oxygen. There is no conflict in the science. We've known this is happening now for 168 years. Why haven't we done anything? Why have over a century of governments, businesses, and councils refused to take action? Well, that's not really a question for me to answer now, is it? So if Edinburgh, a city with a population 54 times that of Glastonbury, can vote for the Plant-Based Treaty for the sake of all life on our planet, surely a town the size of Glastonbury, brave and smart as we are, can have the foresight to do the same. Or are some of you hoping we have another 168 years to wake up and smell the burning rainforests, the devastation of our wildlife, and the death of what is left of our planet?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I propose, please, that you would take a vote on the Plant-Based Treaty. Please. It is necessary. It matters.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any questions?
We have to move on, I'm afraid.
I'd like to make a point.
Councillor Cousins?
Thank you. As councillors will remember, I brought the Plant-Based Treaty to this chamber a little while ago. I'd just like to remind councillors that this February just gone, was the hottest on record. The year before was 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. That's already a disaster, but February was 1.8 degrees above pre-industrial levels. This is really, really serious. The latest information coming out of the international organisations that are monitoring this for the world say that we can only solve this situation by reducing the amount of meat we eat and therefore livestock we farm. And so I feel that it is timely that this does come back to this chamber for us to discuss and maybe to vote on again. And I would say that last time the argument was that somehow the plant-based treaty would encourage people to eat more processed food. Well, I'm a shocking revelation to the council. A lot of people already eat lots of processed
Councillor Cousins.
whether they're meat eaters,
Councillor Cousins.
or vegans.
Councillor Cousins.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you.